So now you see what time it is. Right now is next to not just the mainline Mario games, but some of the spin-offs are here. Now the thing is, you see a lot of these Mario games, but there's some games I didn't play, so that's why the not played tier list is here. So I'm gonna start now, and we're gonna start beginning with the original Super Mario Brothers. This is the OG. Well, the OG is Donkey Kong, so let's kind of move this here. The OG is Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is, you know, Jumpman that started off. I would still consider this a Donkey Kong game, but you know what, I'll put it as a Mario game as well. And or I can do Donkey Kong tier list and rate this. We'll put it now, and if I want to rate it later, I'll put it in. If I make a Donkey Kong tier list, I'll put it later too. And so I'm going to put the original Donkey Kong game of how fun it was. It's going to be either C tier or B tier. I played this game on Donkey Kong 64 first because, like I said, I'm not too old and I'm not too young. But when I was a kid, I played this to try to get one of the last bananas. Not the last. It was my last banana on Donkey Kong 64, but it's pretty fun. You know, it's got really good replayability, and it just set things off. Am I gonna put it in B tier? It's an older game, and there's like 4 or 5 levels or screens, and I'm leaving it at B tier. It's okay. It's not like the best thing ever, right? So I'm also gonna have to move this in front and move this to. This is the original Mario Bros. 2, and so I played these games originally on the Super Mario Advance games, and I didn't think it was bad, but I'm also putting this in C tier. You know, I don't think it's better than Donkey Kong, but I also thought it was pretty fun for the little parts that we were able to play with. So the Mario Bros game, the old Mario Bros game, I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's noteworthy, it's fun, the fun little game. You know, these are the early games, so it's not they were pretty fun, but not the best, and it's just the hardware limitations and everything, but they were still fun. I'm not gonna say they're D tier. I'll put them at noteworthy. So now we're starting with Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros, I'm gonna put this once again in C tier. The fact that there was only 5 levels or 6 or 10 or I don't know. There wasn't too many levels. You could beat the game pretty much in a day. It's kind of what's holding it back, but it was still starting. It was just starting everything. Or maybe I could put it to B tier because at the time it was just an amazing game. And these tier lists are comparing to other Mario games, not really like as a whole. Like, it's B tier. It's in the gaming industry. Depending what you would put in S tier because it kind of started off, or A tier because it's so nostalgic. But compared to other Mario games, I would put this in the B tier. It's just a basic platformer, but the level design, you know, it was a lot fun. And most of these Mario games take the formula. Well, they all started with this formula, but there's a lot of homages to the original Mario Bros. And I'll put it in B tier. It was pretty fun. Now the lost levels was a lot harder. I didn't finish everything on it, but I did play a good portion of it when it came out with the All-Star games. And I will also put this in B tier as well. Is it better than the original? In difficulty, I believe so. It did feel like it was a better game than the first because it was a little bit more. But the thing about this game, it didn't come out. This is originally Super Mario Brothers 2, and most of the people who are watching probably already know this. But this is originally Super Mario Brothers 2, but in America it was just such a hard game that they couldn't, you know, for American people, for some reason, they were not smart enough to play this game according to, you know, Nintendo back then. But it was a very, you know, it was a lot more difficult game, and so it's called the Lost Levels. But this is actually the official Super Mario Brothers 2 game. So now we're going to Super Mario Brothers 2. I'm putting this in C tier. It's the character designs feel like wonky. The game just feels a little bit too different than a Mario game and then what Mario Brothers is. But if you really know the true history of this game, this was actually another game, and then they took the Mario IP properties like Mario and Peach, and they pretty much just changed the characters and put it to Mario characters. I can't remember the original name of the original game this was really made for, but Super Mario Brothers 2, it's not too bad, right? I still had a little bit of fun of it when I played with it, and I'm leaving it as C tier for what it is. This is now we're going into S tier territory, and this is S tier. This is Super Mario Brothers 3, right? So this is one of the first games I really started playing. So these other games here, I played them a little later, but Super Mario Brothers 3 was one of the first games I've ever played. And this game, it just takes it to a whole nother level. So the original Super Mario Brothers, the big problem with it is that it just didn't have enough levels, right? And that's why it's still B tier. B tier is still pretty good. Do not hate me for putting things in B tier. It's still pretty good. C tier is average. If you see D and F, then you can start fighting me. But Super Mario Brothers 3, when it gave it 8 worlds, it just expanded the game to a whole nother level, right? The power-ups were better, the Tanuki suit was better, the extra power-ups later in the game, the level design. This is a perfectly made game. This is a perfectly made game. Super Mario Brothers 3 is probably the greatest, or third, fourth, fifth greatest game of all time in my book. It kind of is. And my greatest game of all time list always shifts, but Super Mario Brothers 3 is always going to stay in top 5 to me of the greatest game ever made. There's nothing about it is a flaw. It's not too long, and it's not too short. The level designs of the game are great. The shortcuts in the game, the extra little things you find, the speed runners are, they still make this game extremely enjoyable to watch. I believe this stays in S tier. This is probably going to be one of the greatest games like in this Mario tier list. It's gonna be really hard to see what I consider is better, but there is gonna be some arguments between myself when it comes to these Mario games and how I rank them, and I'll show you a little later once we get there. Super Mario Land, I am putting this in higher B tier, a little higher than the Lost Levels. This game was good especially for a Game Boy. Unlike Super Mario Brothers 2, this game was a little different, but didn't take away most of the different parts. I might put it in A tier. Okay, no, I'm gonna leave this in B tier because even though this was a good game, it was actually a great game, I think the second one did so much better. With the 6 golden coins where you fight Wario, the level design for a Game Boy game was fantastic. I had so much fun playing this game. I don't think it's quite S tier because maybe if I come back, I might think this is an S tier game. But at the moment, as I'm thinking about it, off the top of my head, all the levels were fun. They were kind of unique, like a little bit different design than like Super Mario Brothers 3, but this game was really fun to play, and especially Wario being the last boss, and like the main. It wasn't Bowser, or I kind of. And one thing I'm gonna go back to Super Mario Brothers 2, not the real one, the American made one. This one, I feel like the boss was just unforgettable. I think it was a frog or something. I can barely remember, but. Memorable bosses for like Super Mario Land 2 and Super Mario Brothers 3. That's the one thing that I really loved about them. But Super Mario Land 2 was a great game. Virtual Boy Mario Clash, I did not play, and I'm pretty sure barely anybody did. This came out for the Virtual Boy. A lot of people just, didn't like the Virtual Boy. I put that in the tier list. I didn't really play it, but there's a lot of people that didn't like it. Now we're going to Super Nintendo Land, like pretty much the Super Nintendo era. Around that era, and we're putting another S tier, right? So I can't debate which one is better between these two. Super Mario Brothers 3 is Super Mario World. So you might see this happen throughout the tier list. It might happen. As I think about it more and more, especially when we get to Game Boy Advance ports, I'm going to start thinking about which game of this is better. These are both S tier games. And once again, when we're talking about greatest games of all time, Super Mario World is also up there. The level designs in this game is just so far superior. So right now, This is how it looks. The inclusion of Yoshi made it so much better. Super Mario World had so much more things, and the extra levels in the game is so much better. Okay, so Super Mario World right now is above Super Mario Bros. 3. That's what we're leaving it at. Because Super Mario World, just the level designs are just so high def, and the levels were so much better compared to like all the other Mario Brother games. But what did I not like about it? Absolutely nothing. This game is fire. This game is S tier. Every level felt good, a good amount of difficulty. The power up, the cape power up was fantastic. The way you got the power ups were really cool too. We're leaving it there. Super Mario World is, and the secret that the secrets in the game to find them, just the way the game ends too, but with the developers thanking you in coins. Come on, bro. S tier the hell out of this, dude. Leave that right there. So now we get to Yoshi's Island, and it was a step down, but it's not a bad game. But I don't want to put it in A tier. It's a high B tier. Mario is a baby. This is the prequel to the Mario Legacy games. There's no Mario Legacy games, but to the Mario Legacy, this is just a prequel. This is Baby Mario, and this is his connection with Yoshi. The story that this game is telling, that the Yoshis took care of Mario, and they went to go find Luigi. It did give a story, but I believe it would step down because it felt like a little bit of a different game, and it felt like a Yoshi game. But it's still pretty good. I'll still leave it in B tier, but it's not as S tier, like goated like Super Mario World was. So we're gonna leave that in B tier. We're going to Mario Kart, and yes, we're throwing the Mario Karts in this. And Super Mario Kart, the one for Super Nintendo, I believe is an A tier. Very fun game, especially when I had it as a kid. The levels were really cool, designed for a Mario Kart game. And the thing is, when you're playing Super Mario Kart, this is Super Mario Kart, yeah, Super Mario Kart for Super Nintendo, it felt like a little bit leagues above, like, man, a kart game with Mario characters. This is fire, and we're leaving it at A tier. I had so much fun playing this game, and even for a Super Nintendo game, you can probably go back and still play because the music was pretty cool, and there was a lot of things going on with it. I didn't play the RPG game. That's why I'm putting it not played. I don't want to rank it. I don't want to rate it. Not even the remake, you know. So the remake's not going to be in here too. I didn't play. I'm putting in not played. I am not going to tier a game that I haven't played. I've talked about this before. I did talk about this before, and if you see my video game console games, you're gonna know why this is an S tier. This is Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. The reason I put Super Mario Bros. In B is because Super Mario Bros. Deluxe was the expansive version of the first game. I am putting this in S tier. It was a great game. This game is the definitive version of Super Mario Bros. Miyamoto probably said, I want to make more games. I want to remake my game just way better and add more things to it. This is a great game. I am putting it S tier. It's at least, do I put it A tier? No, I had so much fun. If you guys go back and play this game and you really like Super Mario Bros., this is the Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, which adds a lot more levels to the game. I think not a lot of people talk about this game. I think this game is an S tier, and it should stay where it's at. Super Mario All-Stars, the reason it's staying in S tier is because it got all the S tier games. I don't have to talk about it. It's just all these games put into one, and if you have these two S tier games in your game, you're putting S tier. And yes, it's going to be above Super Mario World. You don't think I shouldn't put this in this tier list, but I'm leaving it on there. It's a game. You purchase this. If you purchase it, it's a game. If you're playing it, if you use a controller with this, is a game. I'm leaving it at all the way top S tier because it has the inclusion of these two other S tier games. And on top of that, the Super Mario All-Stars actually is a HD, more color version of Super Mario Brothers, The Lost Levels, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario 3, and Mario World. I think Mario World was just in there. It still looked the same, but this was the high definition, not high definition, but like this was the remake, a port from Mario Brothers 3, and it just gave Mario Brothers 3 just a way better look. This is the ultimate Mario game, like of all the games, right? All right, so now we're going to the next Great Lands, and well, come on, man, come on, fight me. This is an S tier game. The replayability is fantastic. The world building is beautiful. The world is good. The actual bosses were fun. Bosses memorable. The mini bosses in the worlds, the sandbox levels are awesome. The overworld is just the castle, which is great. Has its own stars. This is above there. I think it's going up. Okay. Now we're gonna start thinking, because before I started really thinking about Mario 64, I don't think it's better than Super Mario World, but S tier to the max. Do I think it's better than Super Mario Brothers 3? I think Mario Brothers 3 has a little bit more replayability than Super Mario 64. But Super Mario 64 is once again top 15, top 10 of the greatest games of all time. Top 5 of the greatest impactful game ever made. There's just so many accolades with this game that it's perfect. Speedrunners, they love this game. I love watching them break this game. This game is alpha mega of Mario games, alpha mega of a lot of games. This is S tier. Do I think it's better than Super Mario Brothers 3? We'll start thinking about it. So these three here are in contention of which one is better, and I'll start thinking about it more as I keep going on. Super Mario Kart 64. Am I putting in S tier? No, I'm putting in an A tier. It's a very fun game still, especially when we had 4 controllers. Top of A tier. You know, the level design. I'm going to talk about level design a lot with this tier list, because Mario's is all about level design too. But the levels of Super Mario Kart, well, this is Mario Kart 64, is leagues ahead of around Super Mario Kart. But this game right here, it kind of revolutionized like how the kart racers should take the formula, should be. And all the levels in Mario Kart 64 were really fun. Iconic game, man. It's just an iconic game. There's a lot of things going on. So, Paper Mario fans, if you do want to leave the video, I'm sorry, I'm not rating Paper Mario games. I just didn't play them. Now, I don't think they're bad. I just didn't play them far enough back to really jump into the games. Maybe I'll have some sort of stream where I'm playing all the Paper Mario games. Let me know, because then we'll go back. Mario Party, the first Mario Party, the S tier Mario Party. Yes, I think the original Mario Party is an S tier. This game is also close to me too, so it's the first game I bought for Nintendo 64. Not the first game I played. So my grandmother had a 64, and she had Super Mario 64. She had like Zelda, but when my mom purchased a Nintendo 64 for me, I had to choose between Mario Party and Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers just was sold out, so I had to deal with Mario Party. I was a little bit bummed until I started playing the game and realized this is a goated game. Still to this day, this is probably not the most super balanced Mario Party, but it's the most simple, and I think the board is just really cool on this one. I think the original Super Mario Party, it hits dear to me, and I'm leaving it in S tier. As a Mario Party game, it's not too complicated. It kind of seems like simple, and maybe I'll put it high A tier, because if I really think about it as a whole, I'll leave it a high A tier. It might go to S tier. We'll think about it. It's high. It's very high A tier. Super Mario Brothers 2, same thing, high A tier. Do I think it's better than Super Mario Party? In the Mario Party, I would rate them about the same, right? One is just the upgraded version of the other. Just the original Mario Party just hit so much harder to me. But as an overall game, was there something that took out? I think. I think it's better. I think it's better than Mario Party. Now that I really think about it, I'm leaving Mario Party A tier too. These two Mario Parties, I'm leaving them A tier. I did think it did hit a lot harder. Now we're going to the Super Mario Advances, which is, yeah, I should do them. I'm gonna do like this, right? I'm gonna rate Mario Party 3 also. I'm going to put this in high B tier. I just feel like there's something that got taken away with Mario Party 3 than after Mario Party 2. The games weren't, to me, I feel like Mario Party 1 and 2 just felt a lot better. I think I also believe I like the board levels on Mario Party 1 and 2 better than 3. That's just what I believe. That's just what I think from just off memory of thinking how much I like these games. But Mario Party 3 I felt like was a little fall off from Mario Party 2. So that's just something for me. So now we're gonna go to next, and the next thing is Super Mario Advance, which is just Super Mario 2. Super Mario Brothers 2. Am I gonna leave it in D tier? I'm putting it right there for now. But it's Super Mario Brothers 2. These two games put together. So honestly, I'll just put it here. It's a more well-defined version of these two games, but it's a port. I'm not gonna say it's kind of the same thing as I felt Super Mario Brothers 2, except it's on the go. Super Mario Kart Super Circuit. We're going to put this. I believe this is am I putting this a C tier or B tier? I'm gonna put this a C tier, and the reason I'm putting a C tier is just I know Super Mario Kart. I have A tier. It kind of feels like it's like should be in the same bracket, but the Game Boy Advance. Just finding other people who also wanted to play Mario Kart Super Circuit was a lot difficult for me. On top of that, the levels weren't that bad. I'm gonna put it in B tier. The levels for Super Mario for Mario Kart Super Circuit weren't bad. I just don't think it kind of hit just as better as Super Mario Kart for Super Nintendo. But for the Game Boy Advance, it was a cool game. I'm putting it in low B tier. The level and the character designs for Game Boy Advance weren't bad, so I'm gonna leave it there. I've already said enough. Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. It's Super Mario World on the go. I'm gonna put it right there. I think the Super Nintendo console one just hit a lot harder for me, but we're gonna leave it there. I don't think the Game Boy Advance version is better than the 64. It was just a whole different feeling. Playing it on the console and playing it on the Game Boy Advance is two different feelings. The Superstar Saga. So you're not gonna get a lot of tier list for the Superstar Saga, but you are gonna get it for the first one. And the first one, I am putting it in A tier. I'm going to put this a little bit, probably under Mario Land. The Superstar Saga games were sneakers. Not sneakers as in your foot. Sneakers like they snuck up on me and pretty much touched my soul. Let me tell you why. It's just because when you first started playing the game, you realize it's not a traditional Mario game, but the story is fire. The story is good. And this is what people can be telling me about Paper Mario, that the story is good. And if I like Superstar Saga, I would like Paper Mario. But that's why I'm not tiering Paper Mario, because I just haven't played it. I'm not going to give you like my tier results. Like, I'm not gonna give you a grade if I never played it, but I did play Superstar Saga, and Superstar Saga was a very fun game. It was very creative, and on top of that, like the story, giving Mario like this story like that, it hit a lot harder. And that's another thing with Super Mario RPG. If you like those two RPG games, you'll like this game, and that's what people keep telling me. If I like Superstar Saga, I would like the two bottom not played games. But Superstar Saga was a gem, especially for, I believe this came out for Game Boy Advance, and for the Game Boy Advance game, it was really fun too. Okay, hot take. Sunshine, I might put it in high A tier or bottom S tier, or like this. Sunshine, now that I really think about it, Sunshine was a very, very fun game. I do not think it's better than Super Mario 64. I'm sorry. It's really close. I do still consider it an upgrade. But I had a lot more fun with Super Mario 64 than Mario Sunshine. But I had a lot of fun with Super Mario Sunshine. The El Delfino Plaza levels were good. The thing that when you can go back into the level and it's like a whole different story for that 1 star was really fun. Do I think it's better than Super Mario World 2? The Super Mario World, the port? Yeah, I do. It's close. It's close to Super Mario 64. Very close. I'm saying like probably if this is a 99, this is a 98.9. That's how close it is. But to me, I feel like Super Mario Sunshine getting 120 shine sprites were a little bit more difficult or frustrating or less fun than getting the 120 stars in Super Mario 64. On top of that, I think the levels in Super Mario 64 were just a lot more funner than Super Mario Sunshine. But Super Mario Sunshine to me is still an upgrade for the upgrade in 64. Got a lot more things better done, but just very close. But Sunshine is a little bit less than 64, but overall still an S tier game. Mario Kart Double Dash is, at the moment, until I think about it, the highest A tier game I would put. We're putting it S tier. It is for now. It is my favorite Mario Kart game ever made. It is my favorite kart game ever made. It was a lot of fun, especially playing with the homies, 4 players. It's still a lot of fun to this day. I just think that there should have been a little bit more levels, but for the time it came out, the levels were perfect there. Actually, I might put it right here. So Mario Brothers Deluxe was really good, but I think Mario Kart Double Dash was a better Mario game. Not Mario platformer game, but it was a better game that Mario's in it altogether. That is a Mario based game. Double Dash, what else? The specials, the fact that every kart has specials and the switching between 2 players, they're goated games. Goated game. I'm gonna put it above the Super Mario Advance, Super Mario World 2. Playing something on a console and playing something on a handheld does play an effect of high tier or something. Mario Kart Double Dash, I believe, is under Sunshine for right now. We're gonna leave it there. But one thing that doesn't really change to me is going to be Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island, I think, to me, it was funner on the Game Boy Advance for me. I've played both of these games on a console and handheld too, but I'm going to put Yoshi's Island still in B tier. It is better. I think the advanced version, the Yoshi's Island, is more funner to me than the Super Nintendo. Maybe it's because when one of the greatest games of all time makes a sequel, you're just a little bummed that doesn't feel like the greatest of all time. But when you're playing on a Game Boy Advance, it feels like this game should have been on a Game Boy Advance instead of starting on Super Nintendo. But I think this is a B tier game for a Game Boy Advance game. I think this is B tier also. Mario Party 4. This is when things start going down, right? I didn't like Mario Party 4. It was just lacking so much. It was lacking so much from the other party games. And it's not memorable. I can barely remember what it is. I tried giving it like 3 times a shot and it just wasn't for me. I don't like Mario Party 4. Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Advance 4. Once again, even having this on the Game Boy Advance was, a big step up. But once again, having it on the Game Boy Advance, I've played it so many times at the time. But I think in the Game Boy Advance version, this is a better game than Super Mario Advance 2. But when I'm playing, if I have a console, I think Super Mario World is better than Super Mario Brothers 3. That's just the way. That's the way it feels to me. There's a couple people that probably feel the same way, and if you do, you know what I'm talking about. If I only had a Game Boy Advance and I was gonna play these 2 games, I would think Super Mario Bros. 3 was the better game. But if I only had a Super Nintendo and I was gonna play these 2 games, well, this is Nintendo Entertainment System. I've had both. I would think Super Mario World. But if I'm playing both of those games on the All Stars Edition, I would like Super Mario World better. So we're putting that in lower tier. I also think playing the console games felt a little bit better than Game Boy Advance. So that's why it's not to me, it's not gonna be more than Double Dash. Double Dash is one of my funnest games I've ever played. Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, have not played. Now, when we go back to a Mario Party game, we're gonna put this in high A tier. Mario Party 5 is the best Mario Party game I've ever played. It feels like all the mini games was just a step up from everything, and I feel like this should have been the true sequel to 3, but we had to get there, right? We had to crawl to get there. But Mario Party 5, the maps were really cool, the gimmick was cool. It just added a lot more things, and I love it. So Mario Party 5, high A tier. We might put it here. It all depends how I feel. So the highest A tier on most of my tier lists, I usually at the end start thinking if I want to put it a higher tier. But at the moment, this game is A tier. The mini games, it was a lot more fun. The levels were way better. Like the board levels were way better than all the other games. All the other Mario Party games, in my opinion. So that's kind of a spoiler that Mario Party 5 is my favorite Mario Party game ever. Advance, I didn't play Mario Party Advance 6. That's another D tier. Just dropped. Like when 6 came out and you played 6, and I tried so many times. So Mario Party 4 and 6, I've tried playing them again to really rate them. I did not like the night and day gimmick. I just didn't. Now, there's like on Mario Party 2, there's a board where it's night and day. That gimmick is cool because it's part of the level. The whole game of Mario Party 6, from when I played, revolved around the night and day, and barely memorable of why I just didn't like it. But I remember saying I'm going back to 5. So I'm putting this in D tier. I'm not putting it in F tier. When we come later on, we'll see. Mario Party 7, same thing. It just didn't hit. There was a gimmick on it, I just don't remember. And I remember trying to give this a chance. So I gave all the Mario Parties multiple chances, and it's a D tier. I just don't remember why I don't like it. I can't remember. I just remember saying Mario Party 5 is just the ulterior game. There was a couple things that probably dropped from it. Alright, so now we're in the DS, and if you like Super Mario 64, you would like Super Mario 64 DS, but not as much. So it's so you have more things to do in the game. Yes, it's an upgrade, but it just doesn't hit as hard as the 64. Also, you starting off with Yoshi instead of Mario, I didn't like it. I do like the game. I like the extra stars. I like the switch between the characters. But one thing about Super Mario 64 I loved is that just the one gimmick was with one character. So to use multiple gimmicks in this game, you'd have to have just certain character. And then on top of that, they did add more to the game. They added a little bit more levels, like one or two more levels. They add it is a spiced up, better version of Super Mario 64 in an aspect of a gaming aspect, but not the aspect of how I would rate the game. It added more content, but I still believe Super Mario 64 is one of the greatest games of all time, and Super Mario 64 DS is a port, but maybe it would have came out like a deluxe version of 64 on 64 would have been better, but a little bit of touchscreen things. I'm leaving it high A tier, which is still really good. Do not attack me for putting something in A tier. Still a very, very good game. So we're leaving it at that. Mario Kart DS is another one where I think it should stay in A tier. High A tier is a very, very, very good game, right? Especially for a handheld game. So this was the superior handheld game. But I'm leaving it at A tier, probably a little bit less than Mario Kart 64. And now I think about it, no, I think everything's good there. I think Mario Party was better. Mario Party 5 is better. Yeah, I think this is where we're leaving it. Do I think DS is better than Mario Party games? No, we're leaving this here, just like that. Mario Kart DS, for a DS game, it's a really fun kart racer. There's a lot more unlockables in this game. So I think DS is a little bit better than Mario Kart 64. There's more characters. This is when the customization of cars started coming in. Which one do I believe is better? I think 64 just is a little harder to me. We did get Wi-Fi, So this would be another fight, right? When I get to more into the cards, I'll start seeing what I like more. But Mario Kart DS to me is it's an A tier. I think it's better than Super Mario Kart, but I don't know if it's better than just Mario Kart 64. New Super Mario Brothers, a lot of people will consider this probably the best DS game of all time, and to me it was an awesome game, but I'm putting it right behind Super Mario 64 DS. This game for a handheld game was fantastic, right? These are still fantastic. All these A tiers are still fantastic games. I just think Mario Kart was a little less. Super Mario 64 DS was a better game overall. New Super Mario Brothers didn't hit harder than Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World. It was really good going back to the platforming, but I feel like there was just some power-ups that were missing from it. But it's still an A tier game to me. I just don't think it was better than any of these other games above it. Mario Party, what is this? Mario Party DS? I didn't play it. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. There's some games that are gonna be more than not played because I didn't play the Superstar Sagas after after the first one. I wanted to. I saw some gameplay, but I didn't play it, so I'm not gonna tier these. Super Mario Party DS, I didn't play it, and I just didn't. Now, as we go further into these Mario games, these things are gonna start getting like really, really good, right? So all these are good. Super Mario Galaxy is I'm gonna put it A tier, but do I think it's better than Mario Party 5? So yes. So Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, I like the way the story goes. The story of Super Mario Galaxy, they kind of started giving Mario a little story mode, and I mean, Sunshine had a story mode too. That's where Mario goes to jail and goes on probation. That's a pretty good story for a Mario game, but that's why it's S tier. But Super Mario Galaxy, I feel like why am I not putting Super Mario Galaxy in A tier, in S tier? Okay, we're gonna come back to this. I know why I'm putting Super Mario Galaxy in A tier. Is it missing something? Why am I not putting this in S tier right now? Because do I think it's better than Sunshine? I do. I think it was a better game than Sunshine. The music was fantastic. Fantastic music. The level design of this game was awesome. Yeah. That's got to be there. Do I think it's better than Super Mario 64? Not this one. Then we're going to come back to this. But the music in Super Mario Galaxy was phenomenal. Just the way the game looked was great. The level design, of course, just the 3D dimensional worlds, fantastic. The characters in there, I like Rosalina as a character. I like the way the game starts with the Bowser parts. And I'm going to put this. There's something I didn't like that I like Sunshine more about, and I can't think of it. As a Galaxy is an S tier game. The first Galaxy is an S tier game. Yeah, I believe the first Galaxy is an S tier game, and we're putting it over Sunshine. I like it a lot better. Did I like the Wii remote controls? I think that plays a part, right? Yeah, I think this was fine. I think it was better than Sunshine. Mario Kart Wii. I will put it high A tier. I don't think it was better than Mario Kart to me. This also should be an S tier game. Which one was better to me? No, I think it's high A tier. Mario Kart Double Dash was funner. I do believe this was the highest. This is probably going to be the highest A tier of all the Mario games. Maybe. Might go to S tier. Sorry, I gotta say that in there. But Mario Kart Wii, the online capabilities on this game, it was just so fun. When I played this game I used to play this game religiously online, and it was so much fun. I played it for a very long time. The additions of all the classic levels in the game was great. Even using the actual little Wii wheel was really fun to use, but I liked using just the controller, the game controller, or I used the stick. The stick, the Wii remote. A tier games, great. I like the addition of the bikes. Do I think it's an S tier? We'll see. I might put it in S tier. Do I think it's better than Super Mario Brothers Deluxe? Yeah, I'm leaving it there for now. Fight me. I know there's gonna be some S tiers. There's Mario games. There's a lot of S tier Mario games. And probably these are the ones, to be honest. But Mario Kart Wii, yeah. And Mario Kart Wii is one of the greatest games ever made too. When it comes to kart racers. New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I did play this game. I don't think it's better than New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. Even though the addition of Yoshi's. I am going to put it in A tier. I'm going to put an A tier behind Mario Land. Yeah, I'm going to put it in A tier behind Mario Land. The thing about this game is that it didn't feel really different than from New Super Mario Brothers. So it felt like the Wii version. Yeah, you can add more characters, but I think for the time that I played these games, New Super Mario Brothers was just more funner on a portable console. Playing this game on the Wii, I think that's what was it didn't hurt it, because it's still A tier. I still think it's really fun, but I think that's what hurt it. I don't think it's better than New Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii, it's fun. It's a platformer on the Wii. Do I think it's better than Mario Land? No. I think the level, it kind of felt the same to me. It felt the same as New Super Mario Brothers. So it felt like New Super Mario Brothers with Yoshi. So I'll leave it there. Once again, Paper Mario fans, you can leave the video. I'm sorry. Now we get to the alpha mega of all of them, right? I think Super Mario Galaxy 2 knocked it out the park, bro. This is probably... No. This is where it's staying. I loved this game so much, and this is why I started having a hard time of really tiering Super Mario Galaxy. And this is for the first time. I'm so sorry. Mario Galaxy is an S tier game, but I'm putting it in high A tier. The reason is because when Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out, to me, I felt like Super Mario Galaxy 1 was just unplayable now. Like, Super Mario Galaxy 2 just took the whole formula. Everyone said throw everything in there. It even has a throwback level of Super Mario 64 in there, and it felt like a sequel. This game right here is top notch, top tier, S tier. Just the way you go to each level too, it kind of brought back like the world. It didn't bring it so, it was sandboxy, but the way you traverse to the levels weren't so sandboxy. It's just like World 1, World 2. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. So I'm leaving this in S tier, and I'm gonna run down the list we're on so far. The S tiers, we're gonna start off there. The S tiers was Super Mario All-Stars. Both of them. The 25th anniversary one, of course, because the original also is All-Stars good. Super Mario World is S tier. Super Mario Brothers 3, S tier. Mario Galaxy 2, S tier. And I've already explained why these are S tiers in the part 1. Super Mario 64, S tier. Super Mario Sunshine, S tier. Mario Kart Double Dash, S tier. Mario Kart Wii, that is also S tier. We might move some. Like, you already guys have, if you've seen the tier list before, we do move during the tier list. But Super Mario Brothers 3 for Advance is S tier, just like the original. Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2, same thing, just like the original. On portable is just as good. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, S tier. Okay, so now we're in A tier. Super Mario Galaxy 1 is A tier. Mario Party 5, A tier. We might move that up. Actually, we're gonna move that up to S tier. This is the best Mario Party game, so we're moving that to S tier. Mario Party 2 is still gonna be an A tier. Mario Party 1. Mario Party 2 is a little bit better than Mario Party 1 only because it's the sequel. So Super Mario Brothers 64 DS, it's good. It's just not as good as the original. DS is still a good game, that's why it's high in A tier. New Super Mario Brothers, same thing, A tier. Mario Kart 64, A tier. Mario Kart DS, A tier. We might move that down to B tier. It was a good game, but I think I'm gonna move it down to B tier. High B tier. Super Mario Kart for the original Super Nintendo. A tier. Still a good game. Should I move that? Yeah, I'm gonna move it a little bit down. I think it is a B tier game. Some things I was able to overthink and think about, so I'm moving that down to B tier. New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I'm also moving that down to B tier. It was a good game, but it kind of just felt like the Wii version, just like the same version of New Super Mario Brothers. So we're gonna move that down to B tier. New Super Mario Land 2. That's the one with the golden coins. That's the one with Wario. That's staying in A tier. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Great game. Great turn-based game. Keep that in A tier. I've already, the ones I just moved to B tier, I've told you why. Mario Party 3 wasn't as good as Mario Party 2 and 1, but still a good game. I'll leave it in B tier. Yoshi's Island, I think portable is better than the original. The original and Yoshi's Island both stay in B tier. Super Mario Land, the original, I'm putting that in C tier. I think it got better once the second game came out. The first game was okay to me. Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, that is Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, and that stays in B tier. The original Super Mario Brothers, keep that in B tier. You already know the Deluxe is the better version, that's why it's in S tier. Mario Kart Super Circuit, put that down to C tier. I put it in B tier earlier, but I'm gonna put it to C tier. It was a great game, but just I think it's a little bit just not B tier material. I've already told you guys about the original Donkey Kong. Put it in C tier. I mean, you know, depending where you really think about it, it's an S tier game for nostalgia. It's an S tier game for what it did to the industry. But comparing to all the other Mario games, I think it's a C tier. Super Mario Advance 1 is just like Super Mario Brothers 2. I think portable is a lot better, so we're gonna leave it a C tier. Just regular Mario Brothers, C tier. Same thing, like it's monumental, but compared to the Mario games, it's C tier. Super Mario Brothers 2, same thing. I like portable better, but you have the original game for the console, leave it a C tier. Mario Party 6, Mario Party 4, and Mario Party 7. I don't like these games as much. I don't even think they should be in D tier, but I would probably put 6 in F tier. I'm gonna leave 4 in D tier and 7. I'll leave it in D tier. I just didn't like 6. Okay, so now we're caught up to where we left off. Now I know it's been 5 minutes, so let's get this started right here. So next one on the list, Super Mario 3D World. This is the Wii U one, not the port. This is a great game. Especially for the Wii U that no one barely had. This is going to be, to me, an A tier game. I think it's a little bit less better than Galaxy, but to compare this game to everything else on that list, I think this is an A tier game. Playing the game in general, a lot of people didn't really get to play because it's the Wii U version, right? But if you had a Wii U or if you've played it on a Wii U, it is a great game. It's probably the best Wii U game in my opinion. This is also, they added the multiplayer. All the levels kind of reminded me of Galaxy, just like in the Mario Kingdom. So we're gonna keep it there, right? We're going to Mario Party 8, and this is another F tier. This is where the Wii remote gimmick came, and it just felt unplayable to me. We're gonna put that in F tier. I did not like Mario Party 8. And then I'm gonna talk about more of that little Mario Party era that came out the Wii. It just wasn't good. It just was a trash game to me. Mario Kart 8. So once we get to the deluxe version, I'll talk about it more, but the original Mario Kart 8, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I feel like it was lacking a lot of things. The deluxe version just threw so much more things, and it's gonna make it a lot better, but the original Mario Kart 8 that came out for the Wii U just didn't hit. It was okay. I will leave it a C tier. Do I think it's better than Super Circuit? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's high C tier, but it just didn't hit, and I'm gonna probably explain that more. They did add the gravity, but when it came out, it was coming off of like Mario Kart 7, and did I even rank Mario Kart 7? Oh no, I didn't. So we're gonna this is where we're gonna go next. So Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS, I believe this is a high A tier. We're going to put this right behind Mario Party 1, but above Mario Party. Not Mario Party, Super Mario 64 DS. I think Mario Kart 7 was a very, very powerful game for the 3DS. I think it's one of the best games for the 3DS. Probably one of the best Mario Karts. All the levels for Mario Kart 7 were good. They added the underwater kart gimmick, and also the flying kart gimmick, which a lot of that played a part into Mario Kart 8. But Mario Kart 7 itself, for it being a portable game, it was fantastic. That's why I'm going to kind of put it in the A tier right now. But was it better than Double Dash? No. Was it better than Mario Kart Wii? That is debatable too. I think Mario Kart Wii just kind of had a little bit more better levels. But Mario Kart 7 had an amazing track. Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 7 was probably the best Rainbow Road level. But when it comes to just the gameplay itself, I do think Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart Double Dash was a bit better. But it's still high A tier game. It's still great, but it didn't reach the S tier. Probably being portable probably hurt it a little bit more, but the levels in this game was fantastic. So I'm going to leave it at A tier. Mario Party 9, this is also another F tier. So the Mario Party went through a little phase where it just threw out trash. So Mario Kart Party 8 was trash. Mario Party 8 was 9. Even Mario Party 7, like after Mario Party 5, it just kind of went downhill. I feel like the games were really gimmicky and uninspired. And we're gonna say the same thing about 10. 10 just kind of threw this little team battle gimmick that, I guess, like Bowser's part of your squad. I played it a little bit and I just turned it off. Same thing with 9 and 8. 8 was kind of unplayable to me because if you wanted to play with your friends, I feel like you needed 4 Wii remotes, and there was just too much heavily on that Wiimote gimmick. Same thing with 9 and 10. It was just too much with the Wii U gimmick and the Wiimote gimmick that it just couldn't. When you're comparing it to Mario Party 2 or Mario Party 1, it just didn't hit. It couldn't hit like the other games. Mario Party 4, like I said, a lot of the, like, you can see in Mario Party 6 is also an F tier because they rely too much on the gimmick and not too much on the actual playability and just like the mini games themselves. But we're gonna leave that in F tier. Super Mario 3D Land, this is a high A tier. I'm going to put it, I don't know if I'm gonna put it, what was better, 3D World or 3D Land? Probably 3D World, but 3D Land was just like, it was a great game for a 3DS game. It came off just off of Super Mario Galaxy 2, and it kind of kept that same overworld gimmick. And so I think Super Mario 3D World was just better because it just took the formula that worked for 3D Land and just made it such a better game. But Super Mario 3D Land for a handheld, especially for the 3DS launch title, was an amazing game. It's very short though. You can kind of beat it in like probably 2 days. It's a very short game, but it was very fun for being a very short portable game. We're gonna leave it in A tier, above Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 1. Definitely better than all the other A tier games here. Let's see. So Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers 2 is a very, very creeping B tier. I do believe it's better than New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I do think it's better than all these other B tier games. I think it came out in the end cycle of the 3DS, or there was something came out that pretty much undershadowed this game. The gimmicks in the game, like you have the Tanuchi suit again. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But playing this game was really fun. Like, I did not think New Super Mario Brothers 2 was gonna be a fun game. This is the gimmick where you had to collect all the gold coins. Playing the game was very fun. I do recommend playing this game if you like New Super Mario Brothers 1. Is it better than New Super Mario Bros. 1 though? I think high B tier. This is a low-key A tier if I was to really think about it. No, we'll leave it a high B tier. It's better than New Super Mario Bros. Wii to me. This is probably why I'm leaving New Super Mario Bros. Wii, bringing it down to B tier, because New Super Mario Bros. 2 was a better game. Mario Party the top 100 for a portable game. I would probably put this in low B tier. This is what the 3DS did kill, man. The 3DS was just a slow creeper that had some pretty good games. The top 100 had really good mini games, right? So I believe the top 100 is gonna play a part with the later Mario Party games I'm gonna talk about. But for coming off of Mario Party 10, the top 100 just felt like a new fresh air. Okay, so I think it came out before 10 or after 9, but within those Mario Parties, it actually was pretty good. So I'm gonna leave that in B tier. Super Mario Maker, this is godly. I would put this in the back of S. Mario Maker was really good, especially the first one was really good. The second was, oh god. I'm gonna put in high A tier. Do I think it's better than Mario Galaxy? Yes. Mario Maker for the Wii U, another game that most people didn't get to play because it was on the Wii U. But I'm just gonna put this now. The 3DS version as well. I'd probably put it right when it was portable. I'd probably put it the same thing. The Wii U version was a little better. This was the game where the Wii U pad actually shined. This is probably the reason why the Wii U pad was made or something. This is a good game for the Wii U pad. It was awesome to make your own levels, especially when it dropped. It's like having all these games that are 2D in one game. But Super Mario Maker for the Wii U was a fantastic game. I'm gonna put it in A tier. We're gonna talk about Mario Maker 2 later, but New Super Mario Bros. U, this was the one. So this one was pretty good. This is the one with the Yoshis. Yeah, that's right. That's my cat. He just went meow because he's right now. What he said was this is probably a B tier game. A lot of those new Super Mario Brothers Wii games or new Super Mario Brothers felt the same. This one had better graphics. I think the art style in this game and the level design was really good. And I'm probably gonna put in B tier. I think it's high B tier, better than New Super Mario Brothers 2. This is the one with the squirrel suit, where this is the one with the squirrel suit. This is a really good game. High B tier. Do I put it A tier? Is it better than Superstar Saga? No, it's not. I think it's gonna be high B tier. I think it's better than all the B tier games. High is B tier, so this is where we're gonna leave it there. This was a really good game. I would try it out. The only thing is, it felt a little short to me too, and then it felt a little repetitive. A lot of the new Super Mario Brothers feel the same, but New Super Mario Brothers U, I think the level designs were a lot more crispier and cleaner. This is Super Mario Brothers. This is Super Mario Run. This was the mobile game, right? A D tier. I didn't like it. Just leave it a D tier. It's just Mario running straight and you pressing your screen to go up. Was it better than the Mario parties? Yes. So I'll leave it at D tier for there. I think it was the first Mario mobile game, so they were probably still experimenting with mobile technology, but we'll leave it at D tier. I think it was a pay to win, you had to pay for more levels in that game. I'll leave it at D tier. So now we hit the Switch era, right? We just kind of passed the Wii U era. A lot of the Wii U games were subpar, but when all the ports came out, this is when things started happening, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why is it not an S tier? Why is it not better than Mario Kart Wii? Why is it not better than Double Dash? That's what got me thinking. I definitely would put it in high A tier, or I would put it in S tier, right? Is this the definitive Mario Kart game? Especially when they threw all these extra levels just now. I would probably leave it in S tier. This game started out as a high A tier until they added all these extra things. The original Mario Kart 8, the Wii U version, felt like it was missing a lot of things, and the Deluxe 8 version just threw everything in there. Gave you all the DLCs that were put in for the Mario Kart 8 Wii U version, And then on top of that, through more levels, the online was better. This is probably the best online connectivity of all the Mario games on the Switch. A lot of drops happened with Nintendo Online, but Mario Kart 8 always felt smooth. So we're gonna leave it at S tier. Bottom S tier is not better than Mario Party 5, but it is better than Mario Maker, especially with all the things they just threw in this game. This is an S tier game. The original's not. This Deluxe threw everything in there. So all the levels, all the old levels, this probably has like over 100 maps now. S tier, great. They also, with all the waves, they actually threw some extra features. They threw extra characters. We're leaving it in there. This is the one, I think Mario Kart 8 didn't have double items, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe do the double items. Definitive better. Is it better than Double Dash in Mario Kart Wii? That's another thing too. Nah, I just don't think it hit there. I think Mario Kart Wii and Double Dash, for its time, it was still better. To me. This is all opinionated, of course. You guys already know this by now. This is where things get crazy, right? So Odyssey is known to be one of the best Mario games ever made, right? On most people's lists, most people would probably put this in S tier. Mario Odyssey, they would put it in S tier. Why am I putting it in A tier? Because I don't think it has the same magic that Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I just feel. All right, hear me out. Hear me out for this one. The level designs are great. New Donk City is great. It's too much. I think Mario Odyssey had way too much moons. 1,000 moons as opposed to the 120 stars that we were used to. I think it hurt the game. I think there's too much to do in Mario Odyssey that I can't. Personally, I feel like I can't finish the game. I can never finish the game because there's just too much to do. But the other ones felt like once you end, it felt like a satisfying ending. Mario Odyssey, I probably know people who still have not been in this game since it came out, and it's just way too many moons and too many things to find, and it's still a very high A tier. Still better than Mario Galaxy 1, better than Mario Maker, highest A tier game of all the Mario games. But it's not S tier. It just doesn't have that same magic Super Mario 64 had. Like I said, there's too much. The gimmick is cool. I think the bosses are too easy. I think there's just it's very hand-holdy, but gimmick is cool. The happy gimmick is cool. The level design is fantastic. The music is phenomenal, but I think there's too many moons, and it feels like the game will never be complete. It's too much collectibles in this game, and I think that's why I'm gonna drop it to A tier. Like I said, it's still very high A tier, very close to S. I just don't think it hits the S tier because I feel like the game can't be finished. And that's my opinion too. Comment section, go crazy if you want. Mario Kart Tour. This is the mobile one. I'm not a fan of it. I think all the Mario Kart Tour levels are good, and that because most of them were put in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I think that's what helps Deluxe but hurts Mario Kart Tour. I'm not a fan of it. It's the mobile game. I feel like the controls are wonky. It's a little bit different for me to play. People like it. I don't. It's just too much. It's what do they call it? Blue boxy. It's just not for me. Mario Kart Tour, I'm leaving it at D tier. Alright, we're at Super Mario Party is another D tier game. This was lacking too much things. This is not the Superstars one. The Superstars one we're going to get to later. This is the first Switch one where it relied too much on the nunchucks. Not nunchucks, the Joy-Cons. Nunchucks, that was Wii. It relied too much on the Joy-Con gimmick. On top of that, every time you win a mini game, you get 5 coins. The boards were too small. I felt like this game was just too small for a Mario Party, and it didn't hit for me. I didn't like it. I'm leaving it at D tier. Well, do I think it's better? Yeah, I do think it's better than all these other D tiers here, but we're gonna leave it at that. This is the 35th anniversary. This is the Battle Royale Super Mario Bros. 35. I'm leaving it at C tier. I think it's better than new Super Mario Party, whatever, Super Mario Party, the D tier one. But for Super Mario Brothers 35 anniversary, this is just Mario levels with other people. If you ever play Tetris 99, this is the Tetris 99 of Mario. Leaving it C tier, it was fun from when I played it. It wasn't, you know, it was cool for what it was. And that's what I'm gonna say about this. This is that Mario, that live Mario game, below bottom D tier. It was a cool looking gimmick, but this thing's $100 for nothing. Actually, put in F tier. The thing's $100 for nothing. Nah, it's not for me. So now we get to one of the greatest games ever made, right? So I told you guys about Super Mario Maker. Now Super Mario Maker 2, we're putting this game right here, S tier. This is an S tier game, and I'm putting it behind Sunshine. The multiplayer on this game is so fun. The amount of things they added to the game, where they added more of the Mario 2 and 3D games in there, so you can make it, is phenomenal. This game never ends, and this is the good version of a never-ending game that's very fun. I can go back to this game once in a while, because I played it when it first dropped in 2021. It first dropped 2022, 2021 it first dropped, and I played it non-stop, especially when you're playing multiplayer and you're playing the races. This game is awesome. What hurt this game, it's still an S tier game, but what hurts this game is just Nintendo's online connectivity. I think if they mastered that connectivity, this game would have been one of the greatest online games ever made, because the racing for all the levels in this game, they're so creative. You can actually just go wow your creativity. This is an awesome game. S tier. If you ever, there's no reason to ever play new Super Mario Maker 1, of course. The Super Mario Maker 2 just blew it out the park. Just all the levels I was able to play from all the things that people made. Awesome game. If I could still go back to it, this game will never end unless they make 3. Probably make Super Mario Maker 3D or something. But when they added the what was that one game? The 3D world kind of maps and everything that you can create. Awesome. This is a great game. Leave it at S tier. I think it's better than Double Dash or all the carts. Yeah, it's better than those the portable ports. More better than Mario Party 5. Better than Mario Kart Deluxe 8. Do I think it's better than Super Mario Sunshine? Is just, to me, nah. Those 3D games were just way better. They're just classic. They're classic S tiers. So that's what's gonna happen there. This is the All-Star. So I told you guys how much I love the All-Star games. As you can see, these are the top of S tier, but the 3D All-Star games, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now, of course, the 3 games are high. Actually, we'll put it in the back of B tier. The 3 games on here, S tier, A tier games, right? But just the way this is packaged was just a B tier move to me. When you're playing the Super Mario 64 for the All-Stars 3D, they don't really do anything. These aren't remasters. They're just put onto a disc. Not the disc, they just put onto a cartridge, and when you start playing them, it just feels like you're playing the same games. I think the reason I'm putting it in B tier is because Super Mario Galaxy, they did up the resolution a little bit, but to me, I think the way this was packaged is just not as good as the way it was packaged for the old All-Star games. But this is why I'm gonna leave it here for B tier. Do I think it's better? Okay, so let's go a little higher, right? I'll put it probably right here as B tier. Just the way it was packaged. These are great games, of course. If this is 2 S tier games and A tier, but like I said, it was just a re-release. I can play all these games on an emulator if I really felt like it. Just to drop these on the Switch like that, I'm gonna put it as a B tier, right? Okay, so now here we are. This is in high A tier, and I'm gonna put it right behind the original Mario Party. Actually behind Mario Kart 7. Mario Party Superstars did what Super Mario Party should have done. It did it right, but this is remaster of 1, 2, and 3 all together, and I should be putting it higher, but I think the N64 classics are just a little bit better. But this game, when they remade all these games, they even put the top 100. It's kind of like was inspired by the top 100 as well, and they put all the good mini games on here. This is an amazing game, especially the online connectivity. It's not bad. Why should I not put this above? I think it's just a little bit more. It's modern, right? Of course, but what also hurts this game as a Switch title is that they never dropped new DLC for this game, and that still kind of makes me mad to this day. If they added more boards, this could have just jumped up to S tier, but they kind of just left the 6 boards that it has, and I think they could have picked a little bit better boards. The boards for Mario Party 1 and 2 just individually are better boards than Mario Party Superstars, but still A tier, still a very good game. Do I think it's better than all these other things here? Yes, I do. I have a lot of fun. I still play this game. It's still a lot of fun. Maybe I should drop it. I'm gonna drop it below Superstars. Yeah, it's still an A tier game. Still a very fun game to play. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. This is a better port of Super Mario Brothers U. It plays better on the Switch, right? It's just a lot better on the Switch. I think they added the Luigi U levels too. It's a better version. It's a port, so I'm gonna leave it at B tier. It's not a bad port either. I'm gonna leave it in high B tier. It's very fun to play too. I played both of them, the regular Wii U and the port. It was fun. When I replayed it again too, I still had a little fun of a time, so it was good. Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury. This is another one. I'm gonna leave it an A tier next to the original, but a little bit better. I don't think it's better than Super Mario Galaxy, but once again, the Wii U kind of hurt a lot of these really good games, like the Mario Brothers U and the 3D World. So the Bowser's Fury is okay. A lot of people like it. It's okay. Whatever tech demo that game is supposed to be for, it's gonna be a fantastic game for when it comes out. But the Bowser's Fury was just like 2 hours extra, 3 hours extra of gameplay. Another thing about these 3D worlds, I might drop it a little bit lower, is because I don't like the cat gimmick. I just don't like the cat gimmick, right? So 3D Land did very well, but I just don't like the cat gimmick too much. So I'm gonna put 3D Land a little bit better. It is better than Mario Kart 7. I think the cat gimmick just hurts this game. Now that I really think about it, still an A tier. It's got to be still an A tier. Now that I really think about it, the cat gimmick is really annoying. But all the other things in the game is good. You don't have to use the cat gimmick. So yeah, leave it back where it was. I'm gonna put it high A tier. Bowser's Fury and the regular 3D World. I think being on the Switch, it was pretty cool. It did help the game be more portable, and it's very fun. So I'm gonna leave it there. The Wii U version, yeah, I'm gonna leave it where it needs to be. So we're coming on the end of the video, and because we have one more. This is recently just came out. This is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. This is a fantastic game. What I put in high A tier. It was a great game. I'm still playing the game too. I've already beaten the official game, just finding more secrets about it. I would put this in high A tier. This is a very fun game. The elephant gimmick didn't hurt it either. Do I think is Mario better than new 3D Super Mario World? Yeah. So that's where I'm gonna leave it there. I think it's not better than Mario Actually, yeah, it is better than Mario Galaxy. We're gonna move this a little bit higher. Even though the game didn't come out that long ago, it's still a very fun game. I've played it a little bit more. I play it more and more as I play. Do I think this is the best new Super Mario Brothers 2D style game? Yes. It was very fun. If I'm looking at all the other ones, all the 2D styles, this is probably the better one. It did lack kind of riding Yoshi, but it's not better than the Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World.
it's still a really high A tier game. Do I think it's better than Mario Maker? No. I think that's perfect where it's at. I think it was better than Mario Galaxy. Nah, we'll move it a little bit back. I think it's better than 3D World. It was a very fun game. If you ever want to try playing that game, it's really cool. The gimmick of this game is that you find these power flowers that you just makes Mario just trip balls. It's like, you know, instead of just putting like a tripping Mario mushroom and make them trip balls, you just take a flower and you just start going crazy. Like if you're on acid, if you ever play this game on acid, you're probably wild, probably lose your mind. But there goes my monetization. But this game was great. It was a really fun ride to play this game, and I'm gonna leave it at A tier there. And there you go. This is it. This is the Super Mario tier list, the whole thing. And there's probably more games like Mario Tennis and all those other games. We'll probably do a tier list later on that, right? Let's look at S tier games real quick before I sign off. Everything looks good from there. Mario Brothers 3. Is Mario Brothers 3 better than Mario World? No, I think Super Mario World was the better game. If we didn't put the All-Stars in there, Super Mario World is the best Mario game. We'll leave it at that. And I know the All-Stars are there because the All-Star games are S tiers, right? But if we really wanted to, and we were just like, no, I'm leaving it not played right now. I'm gonna put all those things back up there. This would be like the official list if we're not adding the bundles, right? This would be the official list of the Mario games. But of course, we're gonna put the All-Stars at S tiers because it's got all the best games. Even it was very packaged well too. I've told you why I love Mario Galaxy 2 in part 1 video. Super Mario 64. I've already explained what kind of classic, gigantic gaming industry impact revolving game of Super Mario 64 was. Sunshine was the best sequel Mario game. Mario on probation. You can't get any better than that. It took the Formula 64 and just added more. Do I think it's better than 64 though? No. Mario Maker 2, play it. It's fantastic. It's got everything you would need. Double Dash and Wii, which one's better? I think Double Dash is better. I like the specials. Adding specials to Mario Kart games were fantastic. These are the Game Boy Advance ports of the best games, so of course they're going to be good. If you never played it, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, it is the better version of the original Super Mario Brothers, except it was ported and it's a lot more levels. It's not just 16 levels. Got 8 worlds. Perfect game. I would probably put this above the ports of those like that. Yeah, I'd probably leave it like this because for a Game Boy Color game, it was beautiful. Mario World, Mario Party 5, best Mario Party game. Had so much fun. Still fun. If I played all the Mario Parties, I can replay Mario Party 5 with my friends all the time. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Pinnacle of Mario Kart games next to Double Dash and Wii. If it had specials, it probably would have been better than Double Dash to me. The Double Dash. Did I put Wii? The Mario Kart Wii Online was so much better to me. You know what? We'll switch these because Mario Kart Wii was good, but we're gonna switch them there. I think Mario Kart 8 was better. Is better now. Now it's better. Let's see. Odyssey, I've already told you why Odyssey is A. Too much to do. It would have simplified at 120 stars. Perfect game. Too much to do. I feel like the game kicked off. The ending of the game, the Bowser part in the moon, perfect. I think the level design is great. I think it's a great game. So it's high A tier. It's just not hitting S tier to me. It's once you beat the game, I just don't feel like going back to finding all 1,000 moons. Mario Maker, I've told you why. Super Mario Galaxy, I've told you why it's not up there with Super Mario Galaxy 2. Once you play Super Mario Galaxy 2, I feel like Super Mario Galaxy is unplayable. I've told you why Wonder is the best 2D, 3D platformer. 3D World, great game. 3D Land, 3D Land ran so 3D World can fly. Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 1, perfect Mario Party games, especially in the beginning era of the N64. Mario Kart 7, for a portable Mario Kart, fantastic. I think it's better than all the other Mario Karts under it, like Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 7 is just better. I know I'm going through these, but I just want to definitively tell you why these games are here. Super Mario 64, Super Mario 64 DS. Just I don't like when you start off as Yoshi. That's probably why I don't like it better than 64. But still a great game, still fun. This game, the Mario 64 was just better on the console. New Super Mario Brothers, high A tier, well, kind of low A tier, but still pretty good. I think it was just missing something that was perfected later on in Mario Wonder. Mario Kart 64, we're gonna probably go a little higher. I'm gonna put it right behind 7. Right behind 7. Mario Kart 64 was a great game, especially when it came out, but I think it was just lacking things just for the time it was out, right? It needed more levels. Super Mario Land 2, perfect Mario games. I think it's better than New Super Mario Brothers. Yes, I'm gonna move it there. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I like Mario Party Superstars better, and Superstar Saga can stay there. B tier. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Yeah, all the Mario Brothers Wii games were good. The Super Mario Kart should stay there. DS stay there. Party 3, I've already explained these in the part 1, and I think I don't have to explain anymore. Mario Kart 8, I've explained it earlier, and that's kind of where we're at. All these other Mario Party games were trash, that's why they're in F tier. So new Super Mario Party, I'll leave it at D tier because when it came out for the Switch, it's kind of all we had, and that's it. Yeah, and then the ones I've never played, you can kind of see it there. So this is the official tier list, the official Mario tier list in my eyes. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. The 8th dragon is out. Roar, whatever. See ya.
So long, Bowser.